Welcome to the For Real Though Show, the podcast for the people with a purpose. Happy New Year to everybody. Hey, glad to be here. I took a little time off for the holidays. I do have a regular job and everything, and I referee, so can't just put these out as much as I want to. But I'm always thinking about you, always trying to give you some good food for thought, things to think about. And as usual, like I always like to say, one thing about having your own show, you get to have your friends on here. So let me tell you a little bit about this brother here. Uh, One of the brothers that really welcomed me when I moved to Columbus, when I first met him, we all hit it off right away. I tell you a little story, man. One time I was doing a baseball game, I was doing a tournament, and it was hot as hell. And I mean, hot as hell. And he just reached out to me. He was like, "Hey, C-Mac, what you doing?" I was like, "Oh, man, I'm at this tournament, out here burning my ass up. And he was like, "Okay, where you at?" And I told him where I was and everything. And I mean, it was hot, humidity off the chain. This cat shows up, man, with some Gatorade, some water, and some ice, just showed up. And I was like, man, that's just dope. Like, that's just some thoughtful ass shit, to do for a person that he didn't really even know that well. But again, we had connected. And then another time, man, I actually had to call this dude for the same reason, which is really bold of me to do. It was on a Sunday afternoon, and I ran out of water. I don't know what happened, but I ran out of my supplies, man. And I actually called this dude on a Sunday, and I was like, "Hey, man, I need your help." Man. I hated to ask him too, but this cat showed up. He showed up again, man. This time he had a cooler with some ice in it, some Gatorade, some water, and I just thought, man, that's some beautiful black love right there. Cat. I don't know what he was doing with his family that day, but he got up and saw about a brother. So I think sometimes you meet people, man, and you ain't got to talk to them a whole lot, but you kind of know what they're about, what their spirit about. And so, yeah, we got to kick it some, man. I got to meet his family, his son. Haven't met his daughter yet, but just beautiful people, beautiful family, man. And so we was chopping it up, man. I saw this cat had posted something on social media, man, about what not to bring into 2022. And I was like, oh, damn, that's a podcast. So I called him up. I was like, hey, man, why don't you chop it up with your boy on film, man? See what we could do. And of course, man, as gracious as he always is, man, he's there for me. So I want to present to you to some, reintroduce to others, Mr. Jesse Hines. We call him Freddie. Now,
What's up,
and
brother?
I say all these wonderful things. Everybody can't be perfect. You know what I'm saying? He can't be perfect. He is a real Browns fan, a Cleveland Browns fan, but I can't take that.
Sir.
I mean, what I'm gonna say? I mean, the cat grew up in Ohio. He gonna have to pick one squad or the other, I guess. He gonna pick Cincinnati or he gonna pick the Browns. So before we get started, man, on our 2022, how did you end up becoming a Browns fan instead of a Bengals fan or a Steelers fan? I mean, you could have been a Steelers fan.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm a little background. I'm from Northeast Ohio, from Warren, Ohio, which is right by Youngstown, and that area is about 35, 40 minutes away from Pittsburgh. So you have and another 30 minutes away from Cleveland. So you have people who are right on that line, either rocking with the Steelers or they rocking with the Browns. Well, my daddy was a Browns fan.
oh, see, there it is.
There it is.
There it
My
is. See, you ain't say less.
hey, so hey. Pops rocking with the Browns. We a Browns house. So
I tell you what, man, when I first started watching football, uh, I became a Steelers fan because my grandparents live in Pittsburgh. And I used to go there every summer. I wasn't even a football guy, I was a baseball guy.
yeah,
So, but I used to go there every summer. And then one year they took us to Latrobe to training camp. And this is late 70s. So they still had all the Hall of Famers there. And then I got a Steelers schedule. My grandma gave me a Steelers schedule. So I wanted to follow the team, whether they won or lost. And I would put W or L on the schedule. So that's why I started watching football. So that fall, man, I was living in South Bend, Indiana at the time, and they were showing the Bears all the time. Shout out Vince Evans. Way back in the day. But yeah, so I started following the schedule, and then I would see occasional Steelers game, Browns game, Ernest Biner, Brian Sight, Ozzie Newsome, you know what I'm saying? Old County Stadium, so and I remember watching the drive, all of that. So I did have some appreciation, for the Browns. And that was even before I knew that was a rivalry, again between the Browns and the Steelers. So no, man, you got it honest, man. My daddy was he took me to a lot of Cardinal games, but he was a Dodgers fan. So,
Wow.
I became a Dodgers fan. Like a lot of black men, it was a Roy Campanella, Jackie Robinson thing, that kind of. So that's probably what they came from too. But yeah, man, we follow the footsteps of our daddies, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. So from now on, henceforth, bless you, brother.
Well, man.
All right. So, man, you was talking about, man, starting this new year off right, man. And I think it's something to be said about that, man, because a lot of people, man, and I used to be one of them, man. I used to do the New Year's resolutions, and then I stopped. And I think it was because, people tend to start a lot of shit that they don't finish by the middle of January. So I just said, okay, I might just have to reframe the way I think about it, because changes and beginnings are always good. They're always good. It's actually a cycle of life. It's the evolution of life. So I'm back to that. You know what I mean? And you can change anytime. But certainly as you go into another, year, it's a perfect opportunity to set our mind straight on some shit. So you brought up some stuff, man. About some things. Just for the culture, just for the culture. This ain't necessarily personal. I think these ain't necessarily personal 101 indictments is just as much just for the culture, man. Get better, get better, get better. So let's start off with number one, man. Number one, what we gonna leave in 2021, bro?
Man, hey, goddamn it! If you didn't understand the assignment, get a goddamn tutor. We ain't saying that shit no more. We done with it. Just hey, we not saying that no more. Just leave that back. We leveling up. Everything I'm talking about, we leveling up, bro. So we ain't on that no more. Like it is what it is, and we're gonna do what we're gonna do. We're gonna stop talking about shit and start doing shit.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, before we got on, man, we talked about that part. I was like, I don't know if I heard the assignment thing, but then I was like, you know what, I did hear it a couple times. But I guess we might run in different circles. So where are you seeing these type of phrases coming from, man? Is it social media thing? Are people just talking in the streets?
It's mostly from that song. I understood the assignment. I mean, with a lot of stuff, that's one thing I love about the culture. Like we set the trend on everything in the world.
Yeah, we do.
That's dope. But some shit, get hijacked. And that's one of them things they got hijacked or gentrified, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It was that. That was one of them things. So we moving on. All right.
So you said white folks are saying he understood the assignment?
Man, yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's been hijacked. It's been
But
hijacked.
once white folks
Cancel
get a hold
culture.
to it, it's a wrap.
Yeah. It's been hijacked, like woke and cancel culture, all that shit. So y'all can have that. We're going on to something else now.
All right. So that's number one, y'all. So we ain't gonna say he understood his assignment. Like he said, I think that the main thing you said on that point is stop talking about what you're gonna do and do it.
Right.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, man, that starts with just the first step. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to have a dream and be like, yeah, this is what I intend to do. But you got to take that first step and start doing it. You know what I mean? You don't have to you kind of see the end from the beginning. You know what I mean? This is where I want to be, right? Mm-hmm. That's where I'm starting from. And then you just got to take that first step to start getting there. And I think that's important, man. So what's number two?
Man, to my sisters, you are beautiful. But we're gonna leave them goddamn tarantula eyelashes. They stand in 2021. Y'all beautiful. Lord. You don't need that. I'm so tired of this shit. Like, come on now, you beautiful. I need you to know that. I need you to know that. Like, I ain't taking no shots at you. I'm telling you, you're beautiful. You should know that. Leave them there. You don't need no extra. Like, just be. Who you are is enough. Like you beautiful. You dope. Them eyelashes. Come on, man. We done with that.
That's interesting, man. That's an interesting thing. You treading on.
Yeah,
treading on trying to nice, you know what I'm saying? You up there like Mark, you like the Walinda brothers on that tightrope, you know what I'm
saying? Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say first. You are beautiful. We love you. Lead them back.
Yeah, we all as men, we got our own taste. I always say this, man. I feel the same way you do in terms of our women being beautiful, majestic, all that. And I also give space. I give space for however way you want to do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
My mom wear wigs. You know what I'm saying? And she's beautiful in them. She, whether she want to change the look up, that's all good. And I think I think it's about understanding, and defining beauty for ourselves.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Mhm.
getting at.
Yeah,
See,
it's
you
defining
nice
beauty
with
for
them
ourselves.
words. You nice
Yeah.
with them words. I ain't as flowery and buttery with the words as you. But yeah,
And I ain't even
you
trying to be
nailed
flowery with them. I'm just saying, like, like our Black women have always, been under attack, from the
it.
beginning with the hair, you know. I remember having a conversation with people, about braids at work. That's not professional. Why ain't it professional? Why are curls professional there? Why is a
Right.
ponytail professional? You know what I'm saying? I mean, who's defining beauty? So I think that no matter what we do, if we're defining beauty for ourselves and proud of who we are, even when we first wake up in the morning, and understanding, this is who we are. We can't create beauty. We can enhance it. We can put some, I put some, I shaved today and put some moisturizer on my face, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But but I'm gonna always stay in my own skin.
There
You
it
get
is.
me? Always stay in my own skin. All right, man. What's next?
Hey man, my brothers, 35 and
Oh,
over.
okay, 35. So if you're under 35, you ain't gotta worry about what he about
You
to drop.
cool. You
If you
still you
over
still
35 and older, or
yeah,
if you will be 35 in 2022.
yeah. Skinny jeans is done. You aged out. Like, yeah. Like, we 35 and over. We living a little better, eating a little better. It's got a little pudge around the waist, a little gut. The tight pants just ain't work. Like with the skinny jeans and the gut, just don't like. You can't be out here looking like a successful drug dealer, bro. I need you to come on, man. Come on, bro. Like tight pants. Let the young boys have that. Like let's be men. Let's dress it up like grown folks and be grown. Let the youngest have their little fashion. But you
You know what,
officially
man?
grown.
It's something to be said about that, bro.
Mhm.
We have a term that Black folks coin, and I don't think white folks have took it yet. I think like we don't even use it as much as we used to, but we drop it out every now and then if we have an event. And that
Mhm.
phrase is called grown and sexy.
Man, yes, sir.
And I think people they try to go to the sexy part, but they leave out the grown part. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying?
Facts.
They just skip
Yeah,
right over the grown and go to
yeah.
what they think is sexy. But grown is a mentality. Grown is a state of being. Like Prince said about stop. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, man, if you grown, that means you a man of a certain age, you have certain wisdom. You know what I mean? Like you beyond certain trends and stuff like that. And yeah, you're right, man. Every look ain't good for everybody, is it?
That's it. That is it. Let them youngins have theirs and come on now. You done crossed over to this grownness. Like it's good over here, is what I'm getting at.
It is.
It's real good over here.
Talk
Yeah.
about that, man. Break it down. Tell them why it's good to be grown. Why it's good to
Man,
be a
you
man
could,
of
I mean,
maturity.
it just like you remember how the OGs could just say would not necessarily be mean, but you could just say what the fuck you wanted to say and just do what you want to do because you grown. Like, man, there's no greater feeling than that. I am grown. Now, with that comes a little, some aches and pains, but that's life. You don't live. But I can I can be unapologetically. I can just be like I've lived enough that I'm not worried about what somebody else think. I'm not trying to be young. I'm embracing my manhood. I'm embracing this grown shit. It's dope over here. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's dope over here.
All right, all right. So, tell me one of the coolest things about embracing that manhood. For especially because like I'll be 55 this year. How old are you now?
I turned 50 in 2021.
So you just turned 50. Okay.
Just
So that's
turned
them
50.
cats is they like 10, 15 years below us, man. So but we welcome them. You know what I'm saying? Like we walk,
Yeah,
they still grown like 35. That is a step above, in your
yeah,
20s, early 30s. You know what I'm saying? Certain lessons you should have gotten by then. Uh, but I think you and I both are, we've always been in the mentorship spaces. And I know that I've always been of the belief that you got people over you, who give you instruction, You got people who are your equals, like you and I, and then you got people who, are coming up under you. You know what I'm saying? Who you pour into their lives. And I think so. I think what you said about that, man, I think it's also coming upon us OGs to make sure that we're imparting that kind of stuff in love, and when I say in love, I don't mean necessarily nicely. Like, I got two sons, and my sons were totally different. When they were small, one son, my oldest, all I had to do was tell him, hey man, this what's up, blah blah blah, and because he wanted to please me, he was like, okay, cool. My other son, at that time when he was younger, I used to have to point, if you don't, come on, jump, see what I said, you know what I'm saying? Because he was that cat. So they were both out of love, because all I cared about him was to get the message. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's incumbent upon us, and we're in a referee business, so we talk to young people all the time, and young officials, right? Young men coming into our craft, we try to let them know what's going on, how to handle themselves, if they want to move up, get good games and have some success in their careers. We try to tell them what's up. So, because we know that it's, the odds is against us. White folks ain't looking at us like they look at their own when they looking to promote them. So we got to tell them, hey man, you can't be wearing no earrings, man, at your game, dog. What are you doing? Like, I know a cat, man, two big fat earrings, man. I'm going to my game, man, and I'm watching his JV game before mine, man. And this is a grown ass dude, man. Over 30. Yeah, he's probably over 35. You got these two big fat earrings, these big fat fake rocks in his ear, man. And he looking all over the place. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? He ain't in his area, none of that. And I'm just like,
man, for me growing up, I had my dad. I spoke about my dad earlier. My dad had 3-4 brothers. My mom had a couple of brothers. So I just been around male energy my whole life. And I'm talking about men, like, so much so when they walked in the room, you knew it was a motherfucking man in the building. And that, for me, I always wanted that, to just walk in and everybody just knew, that's the man. That's the grown man. He ain't for play. Like, he might, giggle and have some fun, but it's a man. Like, and we're gonna govern ourselves accordingly, because it's a man. When the father shows up, things then got real. When a man shows up, things then got real. Like, and I want that. I want that. You talked about us being in mentorship spaces, and I want that. That's what I want the young guys to get from me. Like, OG good. He cool. I can talk to him. He always got my best interest. He's an example. I want to be that. I don't shy away from that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I know, man. I think that's one of the things we vibe on together, is, gaining knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and then pass it on. Because, hey man, our time is damn near up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we way closer to the grave than we are, from the cradle. Yeah, so you got to leave a legacy. All right, man. So we're on number 4. I ain't mean to hijack the conversation.
That's all good, bro. It's all good.
These thoughts are coming to my mind. You know what I mean? And I've had my own set of OGs. Not as many as you at all. But I think my OG, Big Jesse, was my uncle. The Duke of Earl, man. He was that dude, man. And it was like they modeled him and my aunt Eleanor, rest in peace to both of them. It was like the house was Eleanor's, meaning that the TV, where the furniture went, the art on the walls, the atmosphere, that was all her. But did nothing happen, and did nothing go on in that house without Big J knowing about it, Big J approving it. That was the stand. You know what I'm saying? Because in his eyes, and I'm the same way, his eyes, if his woman happy, oh shit, everything else is good. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna respect my woman.
We
He had 6 kids.
don't play
Y'all
about
go
our old lady.
respect my woman. Yeah.
We don't play about our old lady, right? Yeah.
But but again, man, this cat cooked everything, man. A lot of people came to the house, man. I can't tell you how many people they raised, how many people off the street came in and stayed for 6 months, 8 months, 2 years, and they was just like all other kids. You're gonna get your ass up on Saturday before you go outside. We're gonna clean this house up, top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my one cousin told me, man, this guy, real cool with him, man. Name is Holly. And Holly stayed over there for a while, man. And he said, my youngest cousin, Juan, he was like, yeah, I told Holly, man, I was like, hey, man, Saturday, man, we got to get up, start cleaning up, man. I'm telling you, man, you better get up, man. Big J, man, he gonna come get you, man. Don't let him come get you. He was like, he just start bullshitting, laying around, man. He said he finally got him, man. He said, Holly, get your ass up here, Motherfuckers got to scatter this shit. He said, man, I told you. He told another story, man. He said about my cousin, Fitzgerald. He said they was all sitting at the table, man, and they was all grown by this time. So Juan was living there, and he was the only one living there. Juan and Fitzgerald, and it was Ellen and Big Jesse. And Fitzgerald was the only one that didn't have a job. So he was like, hey, man, you better say something to Big J about, getting a job, what you've been doing or something, He was like, oh, man, he'll be all right. So he said, man, Big J cooked breakfast, man. They was all sitting there at the table, man, talking. And he said, man, everything was peaceful, man. He said, hey, Fitzgerald, yes, sir. I just want to know, when you going to get a fucking job?
It's that accountability, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He said, everybody in this house working.
That's right. You eat here, you sit here, you gonna work.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, hey, that was that guy, man. That was that guy for me, and so I didn't. But the funny thing is, man, what you said about that is you always had those men. So I didn't have very many of those men. So in my young adulthood, I grew up looking for those men. I really grew up looking for those men, and I suffered a lot looking for them because they never showed up. And maybe they didn't show up. I was looking for them in church and stuff when I was really in the church. And I think that they didn't show up ultimately because they need to show up. You know what I'm saying? And so where my transition was, is I said, I wanted to be the man that I wanted in my life. That was my transition. So I didn't have what you have, but after searching for so many years and not necessarily finding it, I said, okay, I'm just going to, do what I can to be that guy. So anyway, number 4.
Well, all of that leads into number 4, man. Like, I think we got to get grandmas back. If you've been fortunate enough to feel a grandmother's love, like we got, I was, kind of joking saying, grandma's 38 to 40, stop twerking and bake them babies a pound cake. But what I was getting at is that, like,
wait a minute,
like you ain't know
if go by.
If grandma was single, casually. If grandma was single, you ain't know she had a boyfriend. Grandma wasn't twerking, and she was grandma. She hugged on you. If she was in the church, she talked to you about Jesus. She hugged on you. She called you sugar, and you felt that love. And you probably to this day still covered in them prayers. You feel me? And we just like, they don't even want to be called grandma no more. Like, they want to be Nana. They want to be Meemaw and Grandma. Like, let's get back to, like, be a grandma. I ain't saying you got to have cinnamon stockings, and be that grandma, but let's be grandma, though, for real. Because they need, like, a grandma. Man, it ain't nothing like a mother's love, but it ain't nothing like a grandmother's love. And we got so many young people out here that just don't know what that's like. Man, like, I don't know about y'all growing up, bro. We be 20, 30 deep at grandmama's house, laying on the floor, spending the night. But, and she get up and she done cook breakfast with 20, 30 kids. But, man, we just wanted to be around grandma. Like, that's a real thing. Grandma's busy now. Grandma in the club, grandma on IG, grandma on social media. Like, if grandma was dropping the hot back in the day, I just didn't know. If Mr. Willie was her little boyfriend, we ain't know that. Like, we ain't know grandmama's business. We know grandma's business now.
My God. Ooh, I got goosebumps on that one, dog. And you
That was
know what? And it's funny.
a lot
My
to unpack.
God, listen. I just posted a picture the other day of my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace, Florine Burnett, aka Mud Deal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mud Deal had her share of gentlemen in her day. And let me tell you something. Like you said, man, my grandmother, my mother, her two daughters, they used to go out and kick it together as adults.
Mm-hmm.
They go see Bobby Blues playing and all of that as adults. I got pictures of them.
Right.
But as a kid, dude, you know what my grandma was? My grandma. Like you said,
Yeah.
I ain't never known none of that.
You ain't supposed to.
I didn't know none of that. Look, matter of fact, when I found out that they all kicked it together was when my aunt Diana passed and I got all of her pictures. And this was, so she passed and it wasn't until about almost 20 years later that her widowed husband gave me her pictures. Okay. And it wasn't long before I moved to Columbus that I saw these pictures. So you talking about me being almost 50 years old, seeing my grandmama's business long after she did.
Yeah. I couldn't even fathom that grandma was
out.
No. Couldn't even fathom it.
I remember grandma out there dancing and getting the group. No, the most I got was when we was all little kids, and you talked about it being on your grandma's floor. Okay, so my mother, aunties, grandma sitting around, at the cookout or over somebody's house, they barbecued in the back. We running around, seen, not heard. And then the Al Green come on. So to this day, when Al Green come, because my grandma and my aunts, they love them some Al Green. So Al Green come on, that's my soul. That's right. The most groove that I've seen them doing. That was it.
That's it. Outside of that, I heard "Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior," but
right.
Al Green.
That was on Saturday. Then on Sunday, it was "Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior." Yes, sir. Here's my humble cry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I can't hear Al Green's organ now, man, to this day, without thinking of them ladies, man. That's what it was. But you're right, man. I did.
Sweet Sadie, oh, bro, I cry. Every time I hear that song, I literally cry. Man, Maybe take me back to grandma.
So bring back the grandmas. And granddaddies, I ain't know about my granddaddy either, And my granddaddy, he hit the bottle back in the day, but otherwise, man, I ain't know his business either.
Now I found out this Negro had he ain't have a side piece, he had side families, but I ain't know till I got grown. But it's just my point. I didn't know.
That's side families.
Yeah,
but we didn't know we was kids though, because they wasn't on the IG, right?
Right, they wasn't on there. These ain't your granddaddy's side pieces. They talk.
Right. Hey, well, maybe it's because they didn't have that shit back then, Fred. You know what I mean? Maybe. I don't know. But they had the grapevine. You know what I mean? They did have the grapevine.
I heard. Yeah. I heard, and now they got a medium. So social media.
So I was peeping your list, man. At number 5, man. That's a big one, man.
Hey, man.
That's a big one. It's a serious one too. So I want y'all to get ready for this one, man. Drop it for them, man.
Like, I consider you family. All family ain't blood. Like, so love your toxic family and friends from a distance. Like, you ain't gotta hate them. But you ain't gotta be around that either. Like, protect your energy. For real. Protect your energy. That's the real thing. Your peace of mind, your peace is invaluable. So, just because that's your brother, just because that's your sister, or even hell, just because your mama or their daddy, if they toxic, you ain't gotta fuck with them like that. Like, just you love them, but love them from over here. Let them be over there. And it's all good. Like, sometimes that's unfortunate, but that's real. Your peace matters.
That happens a lot over the holidays too, where people, get together with family members. A good friend of mine in St. Louis, man, she's She's adopted, and she's biracial, and she just came into some of her white, extended family that she never knew. And while her sister is really into that, like, okay, I want to meet them, we should meet them, blah, blah, blah. Well, my friend, she was like, look, I took a look at their social media pages, and, I already know they on that stop to steal shit, and all of that. So no matter what they say to me to my face,
right,
I already know what they really like. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they was like, hey, we want to meet you, da, 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 you know what I'm saying? But she said that exact same thing. Now her sister has a problem because she really wants it bad. Like, she wants to embrace them bad. But she's like, hey, I'm appreciative of them. Thank God for them. Nice to know you, nice to meet you. But I can't fuck with you.
right.
For the same reason. You said you protecting your energy. You protected. Why take yourself through that heartache, that rejection when the shit hit the fan? Because they gonna band together. They ain't gonna be like, but my sister, my sister, she be a part of this nation and yada yada yada. They ain't gonna stick up for you like that.
Yeah, you can grow up in the same house with siblings, and they could be on some other shit. Like, I'm not on that, bro. Like, I'm not on that. That's what you on. Cool. All right, bro. I love you, man, but I'm just over here. Like, I'm straight. Like, I can't be around that. I can't. Like, yeah, I'm cool. Like, I know what it's gonna be. You're gonna get together. You're gonna have a little too much to drink, and you're gonna get real crazy at the mouth. I don't want to hit you in the mouth. So I'm gonna stay over here. I love you, but I will punch you in the mouth if I have to. But I'm gonna just do this. I'll just stay over here and love you from over here. And as we retire, I'm gonna pray for you and your family and wish all the best for you. But I know what you own, so I can't fuck with
Yeah. Yeah, and actually got my family is pretty small overall, but I got family members the same way where, you know, uh, like you said, man, it's just a matter of protecting your energy, your psyche, man. You don't want to add to that. And and like you said, man, for me, they say blood thicker than water, and I say spirit is thicker than blood. You know what I mean? Because your family is who you choose. Your relatives you can't choose.
Right.
Because that's bloodline. You didn't decide who to be here, who was gonna bore you or any of that. But your family is a decision.
Man.
And you have to.
Better. You couldn't have said it better.
Yeah, you have to monitor that and protect that. And like I said, man, you get advantages and disadvantages to whatever your situation is. And where some people got really big families that are really close. That's a beautiful thing. I didn't have that. So my family, although I have some relatives that are family, and I got a lot more non-relatives of the family to me. You know what I mean? So that's my outlook. You know what I mean? But I have to exercise that same judgment. Because everybody on the outside, that everybody that's grinning ain't smiling.
Yes, sir.
That's old school saying.
Yeah.
So what's number 6, my guy?
Hey, parents, get back to disciplining these kids. Man, you ever be in the store, man, and you see some bad-ass kids? I mean, more often than not, back in the day, a look. But hell, I'm going to take it back further. Back in the day, and I don't want to be one of these in my day dudes, but back in our time, hell, before you even went in the store, you got a speech. I went like, don't touch shit, don't ask for shit. You ain't getting shit. And that was spoken to you by an adult, and you had reverence for adults. Now we have a time, man, where I don't know when it changed, but it seemed like there's a lot of negotiation between kids and the parents. And they feel like wherever they are in life, they can negotiate. Because I said so ain't good enough no more. Man, boy.
I think I only got the I said so once in my life. You know what I'm saying? That was all it took, though.
That's all it took.
It was all right to ask.
That or look. Yeah, you got that or look. Shit. I knew when to shut up because I knew what, yeah. Man, I'm not trying to accuse, our parents of being abusive. They just wasn't for that bullshit. Like, nah, I'm an adult and I raised you to have reverence. Like, in some things, I I got older, some things I changed. Like we have conversations, but it's a time and place.
Absolutely.
You know,
So it's
that's what
about the respect. There's an order, right?
Mhm.
Your first civics lesson is the government within your home,
Yes. Yes.
right? There's a government within your home, right? There's whether you want to call them a mayor, a president, a king, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
You know, that person has a set of responsibilities, which put that
Yeah.
roof over your head, you know, clothe you, right? That was the budget, right? You know, that was the spending bill, was them school clothes or, you know, them Nikes you wanted, or, you know, making sure you had your books, you know, your haircut, right?
Yeah.
You took you to the dentist, the doctor, right? That was part of the budget, right? And then you as a citizen, a young citizen, you had your role. You know what I mean? If you got out of line, you know, well that you know, you had some discipline, you had some, you know, some things, some repercussions and consequences to your actions, which wasn't
Yeah.
to quote unquote punish you.
Mm-hmm.
It was like our parents would say, man, I'm gonna get you so the police won't get you. I'm gonna get you so them streets won't get you. So that was the order, you know. But like you
Exactly.
said, man, I don't. When you say discipline the kids, man, I mean that it sounds very simple for you and I to say.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I think when it comes to implementing it, you know, and people having, I ain't gonna even say having kids young. You know, we could say people had kids young. I mean, my mama had my sister when she was 17. She wasn't even out of high school. She had to quit high school and get a GED. So I don't think that's an excuse. Uh, you know, people were screwing at a young age for hundreds and hundreds of years, you know what I mean, having babies and such. So I don't think we could use that excuse for today's kids. But what do you think? So with that, man, what do you think is, because I can tell you my wife deals with school kids every day on a bus.
Mm-hmm.
And the story she tells me about some of the parents when she pick them up, drop them off, parents ain't there. You know what I mean? You drop them off at the bus, it's 5:30 in the evening, they ain't even there. What? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? You know? So I don't understand, man. What do you attribute that to? Like, what do you attribute it to? If you had any answers, because I honestly don't.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to, you know, what kids don't get about, you know, us as older people is that we ain't for disrespect. Like we will, whew, I'm with whatever you with. So if you're with some disrespect, oh, bro, that's the worst thing you could for us.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, we're trying to be good people, good human beings, and empathetic, and realize this kid going through a lot. Now, it's things for that disrespect shit, but I do need to take into account what maybe this kid is going through. So it's so I don't know. It's a I don't know, man. Just I don't know if it's a bumper sticker mentality that you question authority and question everything, or if they just were never taught that maybe they were never taught reverence or even shame. Man, shit, I think kids they have no
Bro,
idea about what shame is.
man, that's a hell of a point, man. I think shame, yeah, there is a place for shame.
Yeah. Like don't bring shame. Like, man, we used to get the speech before we left the house. Hey, when you leave this house, you represent this house. You do nothing to bring shame or dishonor upon this house. They meant that shit.
Yeah.
And you know, that I always took that to heart. Like, I don't never want nobody, I don't ever want to embarrass my parents or embarrass them. I ain't got to me yet, but I don't want to embarrass them. So
Yeah, and
that meant
I think, man, you know, like, so but like yourself, you know, you try to adjust to your environment and to the kids
mm-hmm,
where they are today. So I remember when growing up, I remember when my daddy or mama would go to school, for instance, it didn't matter whether, you know, the teacher could have been lying, you know what I'm saying? He was going to take the teacher's side.
mm-hmm,
So, and I knew for a fact that sometimes my teachers was lying. That was just a fact. They're
yeah,
people, right? So when I became a parent, you know, I made some adjustments in that, you know,
yeah,
where I would say, I would tell my children, okay, first of all, you should know when you go to a new class, a new year, whatever, you should know within a week of that starting that class and that teacher, what it's going to take to get an A out of that class.
mm-hmm,
because everybody's going to be different. I had teachers it was all about the workbook. Did you get the workbook done? You know, some of them was class participation. Some of them was just respect. And if you stayed out the fuck out the way, you get a good grade, right? So it wasn't about being fair because again, they're people and they got the pen, right? And I didn't even care if they got A's. All I cared about is, did you cheat yourself? You know what I'm saying? In other words, you can get an A and cheat yourself and fuck off, right? Or you could get a C and busted your ass for that C. Now, it's not about me because I got my diploma or whatever education I'm gonna get. You know what I'm saying? It's about you. So I want you to learn because you're dealing with people. Again, I've always raised my kids to be adults. So you're gonna deal with people on many levels in all your life, you know, whether it's school, career, whatever, and you got to learn how to navigate these things. So I would just get them to start thinking for themselves. Know within a week what it's going to take. You know what I'm saying? So I taught them that as opposed to, and I even told them, I said, some of your teachers are going to suck.
Yeah, that's life. People suck.
So what are you going to do about it?
Right.
If you can't get out the class, what are you going to do about it? So I'm not going to go up there and tell the teacher she sucked because she got the pen. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you, what can you do to pass that class and move on to the next level? That's right. So I think there is some adjustments. Like, so my parents would have never did that because they didn't have that. They didn't have it in a toolbox, right? They didn't have it in a toolbox. It was obey, get down, bow down, do, you know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. But again, but we've made, so I think just like we did, these parents today, they got to take stock in their kids, man. Stop trying to be their friend and shit like that.
That's where we're going with number 7.
Bro, speaking on number 7, go ahead.
Sports parents, you know, you and I and that referee, we referee. Sports parents, shut your ass up and stop living through these kids. Man, I can't tell you how many times I've officiated football, basketball, and the parent is losing their mind. The kid ain't even enjoying it. You know, hell, I've been in Kroger after reffing football all day. You know how they ref in the city little league, and it's wild and crazy. So you can finally finished and you tired. Wife got me stopping at the store, and I'm in Kroger grabbing some grapes. The lady run up on me like, "You that ref that called a holding on my son?"
What?
Right now. I said, right now, I'm buying some grapes, and you gonna goddamn let me buy my grapes in peace. This ain't the time or the place. Like, I don't hate your son, but maybe this little motherfucker was holding, and I threw a flag for that reason.
It ain't no big deal. It ain't no big deal. They hold it in the NFL.
They hold the NFL, they hold college, they hold high school. Like, come on. Like, but people are really crazy. Everybody don't love your kid like you love your kid. Everybody don't hate your kid. It's just, you know, this is just a game. Like, are you putting as much energy into the sports piece as you are in this education? Like, you know, were you trash as an athlete? So now that you feel like this is your do-over, you trying to live through them? Like, come on, man. Like, we got you shit. You already know folks don't want to come and be referees because of how they see, you know, what the shit we deal with. Like, they're like, man, I'm straight. Y'all can have that shit, bro. I'll be trying to. I had plenty of friends like, bro, why don't you come on, get these stripes on? Like shit.
Yeah, they Clay Davis. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, nah, bro, I'm cool. Y'all, you better than me. You know when black folks telling you better than me, they calling you dumb. Like, yeah, bro, you better than me. Like, so, yeah.
No, man, yeah. I had an incident last summer, where I was going to do some AAU stuff, and you know, I had baseball, AAU, and I did some stuff out of the gym, and it was just some little kids, man, some, you know, little AAU stuff, man, and just from the stuff that some of the guys was talking, man, on the sideline, you know, and you know, some people are really good at not saying nothing, and I'm good at that sometimes. And sometimes I'll be like, grab a whistle or shut the fuck up.
That's it. I'm still
You
a
know what I mean?
man. You know, I'm still a person.
And at that point, I was like, you know what? And I told the guy who was assigning me, I was like, man, I just don't want to do no AAU this summer.
Yeah.
And he was like, why? I was like, because mentally, I would go the fuck off on somebody. I'm not in the space. I'm gonna go do this baseball because not that they don't argue in baseball, but it's just not the petty. Especially again, let me keep it 100 amongst our people. You know what I'm saying? Our people, because the person I was thinking about was a brother. You know what I mean? And he was so arrogant and dismissive of the job that we were doing. You know, and I tell people, I'm not one of them people that's like, well, I'm just gonna be professional and not say nothing. Sometimes I don't say nothing, but it's for my peace. And sometimes I just gotta let a motherfucker know. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, I'm not out here to take punishment. I'm not out here to hear your fucking mouth. And if you want to stay, you best to just be quiet. If you don't want to stay, keep talking. Because we're gonna shut this game down and you're gonna be gone, or your team that you want, they're gonna lose. They're gonna forfeit. You know, and I know some guys that just walk the fuck up out the door. I don't need this. Bye.
Yeah.
You know. But no, man, that's
Like I'm
almost
still a person. I'm a human being. Like I can go from 0 to 100 real quick.
yes.
Ref
Yes.
trash.
Yes.
Your lace front.
Yes.
Like what do you want to do?
And you know what?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't like that. Like I don't like that within myself.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that disturbs my spirit. You know what I mean? And then what I've said before, what scares me and what bothers me is like, you know how you can feel something brewing and you're like, okay, all right, it's coming. I think I better woosah. And there's other times where it's like, peek, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm running down the court and I'm like, I'm cool. All of a sudden, it's like a switch. You know what I'm saying? It's like a switch. And you turn around, you know what I mean? And it's like you say, 0 to 100. And I mean, like that. And next thing you know, I done said some shit. And it's like, I'm breathing hard. You know what I'm saying? Don't let no tears come out because it is really around.
And then the crazy part, Mac, man, they like, it ref sensitive. He got rabbit.
Yes,
like,
yes.
How long am I supposed to let you just talk reckless to me? Like, how long is that? I'm just supposed to just be like ignoring. Like you talking crazy. Like, come on, man. Like at some point.
Volatile time, man. So yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, parents, hey man, if you out there, enjoy your child's experience, man. You know, a lot of times, man, y'all gotta remember, man, this shit is for them. It's not for you. And I've been behind the plate. With a guy, you know, little league, and it's the guy behind him, you know, Tommy, that's a bad pitch. Let the one outside go. And I've heard a kid, man, right up there at the bat, man. Would you please shut up?
Man.
To his daddy, you know what I'm saying? He's like, he can't say it to him. He can't turn around and be like, Dad, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? He can't do that. You know what I mean? But he's just like, would you just shut up? And you could tell you fucking up his whole vibe. Like, he could be doing anything. He's participating in sports. He's learning teamwork. He's learning sacrifice, team dynamics. You know what I'm saying? Give and take. You know, going further than you thought you could go as an individual. You know what I'm saying? Pushing yourself for your teammates, for yourself. You know, that's what they're learning.
Quick story. I'm sorry. I mean,
no, go ahead, bro. No, go ahead.
Story, Talk to me. Little league game, football, and the daddy just running up and down the sideline. TJ, you got to get in there and make that tackle. You got to go inside and make that tackle. And we have a timeout, so I pull a little kid aside and say, "Hey, man, that's your daddy?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "You the defensive end?" He was like, "Yes." I said, "Listen, as a defensive end, you have outside contain. I ain't saying your daddy don't know what he talking about, but your daddy don't know what the hell he talking about. You need to listen to your coach. Your coach telling you outside contain, your coach is telling you right. You need to listen to your coach. I ain't telling you disrespect your daddy.
Right.
Your daddy don't know what the hell he talking about right now."
Right.
Yeah, man.
How old was this kid?
Yeah, this was 10U. This was a 10U game.
Y'all hear that, folks? 10U.
Yeah.
10.
Just up and down the sideline, yelling at his kid all game. Like, how is he supposed to enjoy this? You embarrassing him, and everything you do is wrong. So now you're making him feel even worse. Like, this ain't it, bro. This ain't it.
Bro. So this is don't even need to be in the show, but I'm gonna keep it. This is the worst of the worst that I've seen. Before I moved here to St. Charles, Missouri, and these kids were probably 11. And this one son, this one boy, I think he had lesbian parents. They were black. And one of them was just all out of order, just talking. And then some of the other people was like, she does this every week. She does every week. And so it finally got to the point where I was like, ma'am, could you please, ma'am, please, And then I was like, okay, well, so she was so disrespectful. I was like, well, just go ahead and go. You just can leave. We ain't starting this game till she leaves. So, bro, again, this dude is 11 years old, man. And this chick, man, she looks at me, grabs her crotch and said, ref, you can suck my dick. And this guy, and I was like, and this is the first time I heard some shit like this. Like, first time I ever heard a woman say, suck my dick, right?
Right.
And I was just like, I didn't even get mad, dude. I felt bad for the kid because it's a little black boy and he just had his head down. Yeah. And so some of the other referees, every time they see me after that, they was like, hey, ref, suck my dick, Yeah, it's a running joke. But yo, man, so no, man. So yeah, I don't know, man. We need, hey man, I'm challenging our parents to be parents, focus on the right shit, raising your kids to be adults. Don't be infiltrating, they're people. They're people. And when these things happen, we laugh and joke and shit, but that shit is traumatizing to them. And they take that shit up with them, into their environment. That shit get in your psyche, man. I've read where things that you go through as a young person, you could be traumatized for some shit that you don't remember, like when you was 2 and 1 years old. It affects you more than being traumatized when you're 8, 9, 10, 11. Even the things you can't remember. So the things you say to your kids, the things you project to them, man, it makes a big difference. And it's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to put something in them to be successful, physically, spiritually, mentally. And if you can't do it, then go back to number one. Do get them a tutor to do it. It's okay getting them a big brothers, big sisters of America, whatever. Do what you got to do, man. If you ain't equipped, get somebody to help you. But stop putting your kids out here and stop living your shit through these kids and fucking them up. I'm just gonna say it like
childhood never ends, bro.
No, sir. Ends. No, sir. So what we on number 8?
Number 8, it was the challenge to my white friends. I said, white friends, don't be colorblind, be an ally. My melanin and this tan is popping. I need you to appreciate it. Don't act like you. No, I don't want to hear that colorblind shit. I'm real. I'm black as hell and love it. Like, you ain't gotta love it, but see it. We different. That's okay. That's cool. You white. I'm black. You Latina. Whatever. I am what I am. You are what you are. But you're a human being. See that. That's what I need you to see. Don't talk to me about that colorblind stuff. That nothing irritates me more, especially in the times we are in now. Like, I really want you to learn to respect humanity, starting with mine, because I'm gonna respect yours. But see human beings, like, see it, like we will see our differences, and that's okay. Embrace them. That's okay. That's okay. Like, I love being super dark. I love it. I had to get to this space. If I'm keeping it 100, back in the growing up, I was all kind of tar babies, 1159 and Kiwi. I mean, like, the jokes just came, like, and back then we ain't love ourselves like we should, but get older, start to appreciate who you are, and as a person, as Black people, I love it. Like, I'm embracing this about me. I'm different. You're different. I want you to embrace your difference. But don't be a coward. When you see injustice, say something. That's where I need you to be an ally. I don't need you to be colorblind.
Yeah, there's a difference between, being an ally, and I think that's a new word. Words are important,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and like you said, man, I think people meant well. A lot of people meant well when they said they were colorblind, but they didn't understand that what they were doing when they were saying they were colorblind is just dismissing you.
Right.
Right. I don't see color. You don't. Well, you need to get your eyes fixed. You know what I'm saying? If you don't see color, then you must be in a lot of accidents because you just go right through the red light.
Man.
You don't see color. You know what I'm saying? If you don't see color, your shit must be mismatched every day when you want a green shirt, blue pants, you know what I'm saying, purple tennis shoes, right? Because you colorblind, right? So no, and then being an ally means to being an ally by definition is to join with you. Like you said, when you see something, say something. Don't just let people stay in them spaces. And let me tell you something, as a Black man, I do the same thing. I'm accountable to this same space because, my philosophy is everybody can get it because everybody got some shit in their game.
Mm-hmm.
Gays, lesbians, Black, white, So a lot of times I find myself, I'll be, in a group text or something, and I'm the only one sticking up for gay people. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Ain't that amazing, how we were taught to hate? Like I'm gonna admit it, keep it all the way a buck with you. Just like, most of us, we were taught to hate them, to hate gay people.
Yeah.
And I end up downtown in Columbus, the Y, I started working out there when I started working downtown, and it was just a whole bunch of gay people. And then I started to realize, like, these dudes just people, man, they cool people. What am I doing? Why am I hating this? Somebody told me to hate them. And their life don't got nothing to do with me. So why I'm unlearning that. I'm getting rid of that. That's me no more. If you're a person, you're a person. You cool, you cool. Like, and I'm, let that go. And then you start to, if you're really real with it, you have some family members, you say, you know what, if I was ever an asshole or mean or said some foul stuff in your presence or whatever, I apologize.
Yes.
I ain't that dude no more. I see you. You're a person.
Yes.
You deserve my respect and and for me to embrace your humanity. So I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm not on that. Like, oh man, live your life, bro. Like, I really hope that's one thing that Black people really get out of. Like, we become better with that.
Yeah. And I think, man, like I said, man, and what I try to do is I try to educate a little bit too, and just give because we're all should be in growing spaces, right? So like one of the things I may say is like, hey man, do you think anybody volunteers to get dogged out for being gay? You know what I'm saying? And then I ask this question. When did you decide to like girls?
Man, when I was 5, my mother had a couple friends with old fat ass.
Well, what I'm saying, right, that's my point. So my point is, right.
So
but you didn't say to yourself, I got a guy here, doesn't want me here. Let me think now, which one should I choose? Peanut butter or jelly, right? You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like that. You like what you like. You like what you was attracted to. You didn't. That wasn't a discussion. There wasn't a prayer meeting. You know what I mean? You didn't have a class. You was attracted to who you was attracted to.
Yeah.
Right. So but that was normal for you.
Right.
I mean, and so you're not walking into spaces. So it's like, so I find myself sometimes being the only one in the group text or whatever, or in the conversation. That's being an ally. I'm not finna fight these cats, you know what I mean? Because it ain't about that either. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing something else out there that, I'm not just gonna be ha ha he. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I be like even on the social media tip, I see people posting pictures of like a Russell Westbrook or something. He got this on, he got that on, and I'm like, I'm way more concerned about the turnovers this cat is giving on my Lakers than I am about his outfit. Like, I'm a man of a certain generation, right? Some of the clothes he wears, I would wear, but I'm not him. And I'm not in the fashion business. You know what I'm saying? But what does that got to do with anything? This is a married guy, married to one woman, couple kids, beautiful family. Name ain't never been attached to no dirt, no scandal. Every place he's been, especially the staff. Talk to the staff at OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Down to the janitor. When my son had a birthday party, guess who showed up? Russell Westbrook. When my family member passed, guess who showed up with flowers, who was present, who stayed for the whole service? Russell Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so it kills me, it hurts me to see Black people talking about what the fuck he got on and not talking about his humanity. You know, that's just fucking style. It's dress, it's taste.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. It's ethereal. Like it's like, again, do you like Glenlivet or do you like Grandma? Yeah, it ain't, you know, it ain't gotta be your thing. But this man has done so much good in his life, in his community, everywhere he's been. Everybody says, my favorite teammate. Because he gonna get your back. He ain't gonna let nobody fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And you worried about what he walking into the arena with? That's what we doing?
We've had some bad fashion decades. The 80s was trash.
Bro.
Like
my daddy to the day he died would wear some shorts, wear some dress shorts and them damn socks. Dress socks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
The day he died. You know what I'm
My
saying?
daddy could fuck an outfit up, bro. I mean, with them goddamn stuff. Just totally fuck. You buy him a fresh fit and he just fuck it up with them socks. Oh man.
All right, man. So yeah, we ain't gonna belabor the point on that, man. But no, yeah, you're right, man. We all have to be allies, right? And so each of us have spaces where we come from, you know, certain prejudices and you know, which is just again a prejudge. And again, it don't have to be you, you know, but again, embrace it because we all have the same thing in common, you know what I'm saying? And we all want to be left alone to live our lives, right? You know, and I think as Black people, especially, we can't be talking about standing up for our rights and we pissing on somebody else's rights. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Because we some fucking hypocrites if we do that. Yeah. Number 9.
Young people, man, you know, we had 202 murders this year in Columbus. Like, put the guns down. Throw your hands if you have to. Like, but man, I'm so tired of every time I turn on the news, somebody else was gunned down and they're 20-year-old, 19, 15. Man, it broke my heart, man. I got to the football field one Saturday and kids were upset. And one of them was like, you know, I won't say the kid's name, but such and such got shot last night and he died. Like, we talking 14-year-old kids. Like, man, you know, I ain't advocate, I ain't glorifying it, but you know, we used to fight. And then we'd be cool, playing and having fun an hour later. Or you know, got a little older and you had problems with somebody, you threw hands, but y'all both went home. You went home. And kids are just, they just going straight to the piece. And just, you know, I hate to see it. I hate this. That, you know, their mothers crying, that you never get that sound out of your head, the cry of a mother grieving over her child. You never, that never leaves you. That's heart-wrenching. I'm tired of hearing that. I'm tired of seeing that. You know, you want, hell, let's even do better. Let's learn how to communicate. Let's learn how to talk and talk through some things. You know, I know that ain't always been our way, but something got to give.
Yeah, man, I think after this one, dude, I got no answers, bro. I only got observations, you know. I go back, you know, to the greatest show that ever was on television, as far as I'm concerned, The Wire. And one of the transitions that show made is even into life, right? So you got Avon, you know, Stringer, you got Prop Joe, and all these cats. So, they ran these streets and whatnot. They did their thing, right? And you knew what it was. You was in the game, right? Game could get you rich, get you in jail, get you dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was a code. There was a code in the game. So like there was one scene where they was after Omar. And they was like, hey, well, so these cats was on Omar, they was looking for him. He was wanted. Bonnie was on his head. And so they seen Omar, man, at church with his grandma. And it's a Sunday. You know what I mean? So he going, I don't know. Did you watch The Wire?
Man, don't take my black card, bro.
All right.
But I
All
have
right.
not.
No worries. No worries. We good. I'm gonna set this up for you.
But I'm familiar with it.
I'm gonna set this up for you. So Omar is he's a robber of drug dealers. That's what he did. So and he was in West Baltimore. He robbing drug dealers. So he took took Avon's shit. And they want him, and he's gay and all that kind of stuff. So it's all kind of layers and shit on it, right?
Played by the great, what's the brother?
Michael K. Williams.
Yeah.
Shout out Michael K. Williams. Yeah. So anyway, so they sitting there, and these cats are sitting there calling, "Hey man, we got a line on Omar. What you mean you do? Yeah, you mean he had here at church, And it was like, so these stone cold killers now. No man, we don't fuck with people on Sundays, man. Yeah, church was grandma, and it's Sunday. We don't do this shit on Sunday. Now, if you see them on Monday, we get them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these cats gonna do what they gonna do. They gonna start shooting at Omar. They shoot his grandma's head off. So not only did they do these niggas, right? The bosses, hey, send this motherfucking grandma a hat. You know what I'm saying? With an apology. You know what I'm saying? Now these cats want to kill each other, but they like, man, we got code. There's a way we do things, right?
Exactly.
And I think so. Where I'm speechless in this regard, and without answers, Freddie, very honest with you, without answers, is I just don't see the code anymore. I don't see the code.
Exactly.
It's like you say, anything goes. And as kids, we all went through conflict. I never was a fighting kid. You know what I mean? Every fight I ever got into as a kid, I was forced into. It was just a matter of defending myself. And I used to feel bad. Even if I won a fight, I felt bad because I was like, I hurt somebody. You know what I mean? That was just, everybody's not like that, but that's how I was, But like you said, man, some of the fights that I got into, me and the cats ended up being cool. Matter of fact, me and this one dude, man, picked on me all the time, man. His name was Warren, who's in Indiana. And so, man, we just set up we had a mutual friend, and this cat just set up a boxing match. So we was at the park, man, you know what I'm saying? We was at the park, trading blows and shit. And man, I even got a good blow on him, man. This cat stopped us. Oh, see, that's a good ass hit, man. You know what I'm saying? This cat get me, tapping me up because I tagged his ass.
Yeah.
And you know what? After that, man, we had no problems, dude. We was cool. Like, we never was buddies or nothing, but we could hang out, talk, what shit. You know what I mean? So for whatever reason, he had to get that shit out of his system. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever he was going to do, whatever he had against me, whatever. But like you said, man, to think about ending somebody's life, man, that wasn't even in your psyche.
Crazy. It's
wasn't
crazy.
Even in your psyche. So,
I mean, you talked about the code. We had the OGs, man. They was, into some crazy stuff. But when they would be like, "Hey, y'all get on up out of here. Get away from here. You don't need to be around this." Yeah. Like, they look out for us. Oh, you athlete. Get your little ass off the block. Go on and get away from here.
Yeah.
Like there was a code. It's gone. Like you spot on with that, bro.
So I'm lost there, man. I don't have any answers. Somebody listening to the show have any suggestions, answers, man, email the show, comment on YouTube. I would love to, hear it. I would love to dialogue with anybody that's got some answers, but I think what you said, most of all, even beyond the hands, it's just the communication, man, to be able to talk, to be able to talk and listen. I don't think it's not too much out here that we can't talk about. You know what I'm saying? It ain't too much out here. So man, I saw your number 10, man. But we gonna add that to your top 10, of what to bring, right?
We start there. Bring that. We're gonna bring that into 2020. Like,
We're gonna bring that into
no,
2022.
yeah, no,
So we talked about what to leave out. Now we're gonna hit y'all with what to keep, what to bring back for 2022, man. So go on and start with that, bro.
let's start there. Exercise. Bring the health as well. Take care of yourself. Whether that's exercise, that's self-care, whatever it is. Take care of yourself, man. We're in crazy times, bro. Some people can't. We dealing with this crazy pandemic, and the better you take care of your health, the better you're gonna be able to fight this thing off. You take care of your mental health, take care of your physical health. Just take care of yourself. Even the exercise piece. I'm not asking people to go out and become a bodybuilder. Just go for a walk. Take a walk, or go to the gym. Whatever it is, just take care of yourself. Like, really, really take care of yourself. Be better about you. Care more about you and take care of you. And part of that is telling people. Then that's self-care. Tell people no. Tell yourself no. Like, take care. To like really get into taking care of yourself. Self-care is just so important. It's so important.
And I think we're in an environment now that it's popular. I think it's mental health is a popular thing now. With a lot of our big time athletes coming out in public, talking about it. So that's a good thing, man. I've been a strong advocate of mental health, for decades now. Just because of my own personal struggles. And it's just something I was never ashamed about. But like you said, man, I think back in the day, back in our day, it'd be like, Jesus take care of it. You know what I'm saying? But no, man, it ain't Jesus' responsibility, man, to no matter where your faith level is, you have a body, you have a mind, you are a steward, right? You're a steward of your time, of your body. You only get one, right? This ain't Jamie Summers and Steve Austin. Shout out $6 million man. But so no, man, but you're right, man. You do have to, and there are plenty of resources, folks. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't even have to have a job to see a therapist now. They got people that go by your income, whatever it may be. You got services out there. Don't be ashamed to talk to people, and like I said, that has been an emphasis, but like Freddie said, also exercise. When you move your body around, it does help with your mentals. It does help. As a matter of fact, you did something a year ago, man. You walked for 365 straight days, man. Tell us about that and what that experience was like for you.
Man, I had in January 2022, like tomorrow will be the second anniversary of my mother passing. And then 5 days after that, my sister died. So in a 5-day span, man, I lost my mother and my sister. My sister was like, 13, 14 years older than me. So she treated me like I was hers, you know what I mean? It was like losing two moms. And man, I went through, that's crushing, it was crushing. So I gained weight, it was just, I was what I know to be depressed now, but back, I'm from that. I just wasn't even trying to acknowledge that I was going through a depression, and rightfully so. What I experienced. So we go through the pandemic, and then we get sent home from work. So we're working from home. Gyms are closed. I looked up, put on 10, 15 pounds. I'm like, man, I got to do something. So I start walking, and on these walks, man, I just I start finding some peace, like really getting some peace. And it started off just from my house to the Kroger here is a mile. I used to just walk, touch the door, and come on back home. So a little 2 miles a day. And then that picked up. It was 3 miles, and looked up, it was 4 miles. And I was doing it, and I was, in doing these walks and spending time with God. Like, hey, God, why you do this? Like, like some people feel like you ain't supposed to question God. I'm like, no, I had questions. I'm like, bruh, like, my mother died on a Friday. Saturday, I'm there making funeral arrangements, come back Sunday. Monday, I got to go right back because my sister in the ICU. And then I'm watching her on a ventilator, struggling to breathe. And she, I'll literally watch her take her last breath. And I understand now that, she was dealing with COVID.
Mm.
I didn't know,
That was before we really knew what it was.
Before we even knew what it was. But, to go from, making arrangements, funeral arrangements for your mother to watching your sister take her last breath, it was a lot. I was tore up, bro. And that walk, just getting out there walking just helped. And then I had a friend of mine posting about, they were walking. And I was like, well, let's do this. Let's just do it. And looked up and they hit me like, hey, you know what? In about 20 days, we will have done this thing for a year straight.
Mm.
I was like, wow. So, we hit that 1 year mark and I'm still going. Like I still have not missed a day. She had a surgery or whatever, so she had to break the streak, but once she start healing, she jumped back on, and a couple more people started jumping on. Like, so now we gotta, we check in. And I got, some of my family, I got 4 or 5 family members. We got a group text. Check me in. Got mine in today. And it's their health is improved. So it's been dope, man. It's been, it's been good for my mental health, my physical health. It's just been a good thing,
I think you brought up an interesting point that, one of the things you and I talked about is because I was walking every day, but when I was sent home from work.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I think, I don't know if I hipped you to it or if you was already hip, but we got on the Audible tip where we started listening to books and stuff like that, and just walking out in the neighborhood. It's the same thing they used to tell police officers, man, get out the car and start walking the beat. Like it makes a difference, you know what I mean? Getting out your car and walking your neighborhood, seeing the people being on the street, it makes a difference, And so, here we are increasing our knowledge, our understanding. While we get out, you kind of at peace with your mind. And there are times, man, where I would listen to something and that one little thing would be so good, man, I would just cut it off right there and meditate on that. And then that may be halfway through my walk. And then I'm walking in silence the whole rest of the way. It may be another 3 miles because my path is 6.2. So I may get to the 2 or 3 and then bam. And then, man, the nuggets I would get.
Yeah.
And just walking in the silence even. And then all of I go home and start writing the shit down. I was like, man, that was fucking good. Like things I'd have never thought of unless I took that walk. So not just therapy, or talking to somebody, but sometimes just getting your ass out, get out from under that TV, get out the crib, walk your neighborhood, go to the park, wherever you like to walk. That also is good for your mental therapy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times your own spirit and mind will tell you things that you need to do, things that you never thought of just because you took that walk and you walked, again, in silence or listen to something that put you on a point. Sometimes for me it's music. I listen to the right song, man, and boy, there I go. I'll stop. Like I go to Franklin Park. So we've got little waterfalls over there. And sometimes I just stop and sit on the bench and watch the waterfalls for a while. That's the middle of my walk. You know what I mean? Watch the little ducks go by. You got away from everything. You just getting all these nuggets.
Yeah.
And I like what you said about the accountability. Get a partner, right? Group text. Y'all can encourage each other, to do the things y'all got to do, and then, person ain't up. Hey, you get them tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You get them tomorrow. You get them tomorrow. You need a pause, bro?
I'm good, man.
You good? Okay. Just making sure because I know we've been going on a minute. So yeah, but that accountability, man, that group text, see all these things up because no man's an island, right?
Exactly.
No man's an island. All right. So what's the next one, bro?
Hey, man, you know what you talked about getting them little nuggets. One of the things that hit me on my walk probably last week, like I'm gonna stop punking out and I'm gonna go to my destiny. Like I need to, like there are things, man, that get dropped in my spirit and I, supposed to be doing, but start thinking like that's big, and I don't know if I can really do that. Why not? Why not you? You can do that. You're supposed to do that. Go do it. Stop being afraid. Like I know, you're more able than you realize. Give yourself more credit. You can do it. Like don't be afraid to like it feel like it's a big thing that was deposited, and I'm like, ooh, that's huge. Me? I'm just a dude. I ain't even finished college. I'm just a nah, you can do it. Yeah. You were called. You ain't have to be qualified. He gonna qualify you. You can do it. So I'm gonna stop punking out and do these things that I've been supposed to been doing that seemed large, that was so big that it was scaring me. I'm going to do it.
Well, all your dreams that are really worth a goddamn are gonna scare you.
Scare the shit out of
you. they're big. They're big.
Yeah. Yes,
And
sir.
I heard a guy say years ago, man, he said God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called.
There it is. Yeah.
And then man, I got a podcast coming up, man, and it's called Shoot Your Shot, right? And and that's kind of what you're talking about. One of the things about it, man, is like you said, when you say me, well, why, can I do that? That's really big. Yeah, that's fine that you have your doubts, but that's just one opinion. It's an important opinion, but it's only one.
Right.
If you knew all the opinion of the people who know you can, well, they go outweigh your one.
Right. Like, I can't do that, but also, what if you can?
Right, exactly.
Let's
That's
entertain
just one
that.
opinion. That's just one opinion. So no, man, that's good, man. I think there's always, like, each of us should have a vision of something, right? With this format that you're on now, is a vision I've had for, probably 8-9 years, right? Picked it up, did it. I moved, so it got dropped off. And then, I ain't most technically sound, brother, so I'm like, I'm gonna do something. I may not be on Spotify or Apple, whatever. If it's just a YouTube channel, hey, you know what? When I get off these boys, man, I feel so good and accomplished. And it's just a little thing, you know what I'm saying? But it's one little step, right? And even when I talked to you the other day, it starts off as an idea, and it's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do this. Then you got to push yourself to do it. So instead of me like letting Sunday go by, I'm gonna hit you up. All right, Freddie, you still down? I got my phone right. You down? And you like, yeah, I'm down. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of us not being pumped, right? You know what I'm saying? We could have said no, put it off, but we said we gonna do this shit, and really, man, to be honest with you, dude, I'm accountable to you. You know what I'm saying? So if I call you and you say you're gonna be down, then I gotta follow up. I gotta do what I say I'm gonna do, because I got this man counting on me. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing friends are accountability partners.
Absolutely.
They really are. What's the next one?
And that leads to the next one. Like, I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna be disciplined more than I'm motivated. Like,
oh man, you gonna have to expound on that, bro.
So like, a lot of times we're motivated to do something for a little bit, and then we stop. But when you discipline, you're gonna do it, and you keep discipline is doing it and doing it and doing it, even when you don't want to do it. That's what discipline is for me. Like, I don't want to just be motivated. Like, get a good idea, like, hey, yeah, okay, and then don't do nothing. Discipline, I'm gonna do it. Like, even we talked about the walk. Shit, it's gonna be probably 20 degrees out there tomorrow when I go, but I'm gonna get my ass up and go. It's cold. I got long johns. I got hats. I got gloves. And when I get out there, I realize I'm layered. I don't feel that cold. I got enough sense to put on enough clothes so I ain't out here freezing. And
especially
I'm doing what I
start moving. Yeah, when you really start moving, you're like, oh, I'm surprised at how not cold I am.
Yeah. Most folks would be like, man, you out there, it's 19 degrees. You tripping? Like, well, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm disciplined. Like I need to be that I need to learn to carry that discipline in every area of my life, you know, and I'm gonna keep working on that, you know, carrying that discipline to every area of my life. Because, you know, I walk, so I'm getting cardio. I'll get to the gym, lift a little weights. Yeah, I fuck around, eat some honey buns. So I need to be better on my diet, bring that discipline to my
I
diet.
got that workout in.
I worked out, so I'm cool. I need to just, you know, make sure that I'm bringing discipline to every area of my life. So make sure that's my focus, discipline over motivation.
I think that's a beautiful point, man. That might be the coldest point you've made so far. And I think, you know, when I think about myself, you know, I work close to where you live. So I know, like this past week, for instance, man, it was really hard to go to work, you know, because I'm a person that needs sunlight. We ain't had no sunlight around this piece in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Rainy, dreary every day. Then I was really tired, just fatigued, working so much. But I get up, you know, and go. But that discipline is, you know, almost out of survival mode, right? You got to go to work, you got a responsibility. So you got to get your ass to work, right? So we have to have something else in our lives other than what we're doing for our employers, right? You know, because again, that's almost selfish motivation to get up and go to work, right? But you got to have something else outside of that, uh, whether it's like you said, with your walking, your eating, or whatever that you can control, right? Because you get to control whether you go eat or whether you go what you eat, whether you go work out, right? Nobody's going to fire you for not walking. So, so you know, each of us has to have something in our lives, some sort of vision to be disciplined too, right? You know, beyond again, you know, just survival. You know, if I don't work, I don't eat. So that's a different motivation. Like some people don't know how to do that. That's for sure, right? But you and I are past that point, so we're gonna go to work, you know. But we gotta have something else too that we say, hey, I'm gonna be disciplined enough because it's just me, right? And you go walk, your vision that you're talking about. You know, I know it's some projects you're working on. Uh, you know, that stuff that's much bigger than you, right? It's much bigger than you. What's next?
Man, I'm bringing Big Daddy energy into 2022. But
All
just
right,
man,
talk
just
to me about that. What's that?
hey, bro, I'm just, you know, just embracing being grown. We talked about it a little bit, but just embracing being a man and uh just being a man and being we talked about accountability and all of those things. Just being a man, and being a man is making manhood sexy. You know what I mean? Just being.
What does that look like for people who may may not understand? What does that look like in your
It
eyes?
looks like my yays are my yays, my yeses are my yeses, my no's are my no's. When I say I'm gonna do it, I'm doing it.
Mm,
Yeah,
accountability,
you can you
responsibility.
can you can count on me, like,
Mm.
and just, you know, I'm here. And just having presence, just being that, you know, just being a man, because it's like I don't know, it seemed like we've fallen off a little bit, you know, as men. Like we some of us are wrapped up in our old ways, some of us just ain't stepping up. Like, you know, my pops used to say, it may not be your fault, but you're responsible.
That's good. Yeah.
So I need to, you know, like, and that always stuck with me, bro. Like that
Oh,
always stuck with me. So I need to, yeah. So be a man.
that's like people talking about, they don't want to talk about quote unquote critical race theory, although it's not taught in schools, because these kids might feel bad, you know, that type of bullshit. But it's like, again, might not be your fault. Responsible. I love that, man. I love that. And then what they gonna say about Biden? I don't care about what Trump did. It ain't your fault, but it's your responsibility.
There it is. There it is. So yeah, all them black folks that got you there, they looking at you.
Bro,
They looking at
you hear me though?
you. That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother podcast. Woo, that's a whole nother
Yeah,
podcast right there.
yeah.
All right, all right. So now we got number 5. Where we at now?
So I'm not. I'm done chasing the bag. I'm gonna attract the bag. Like, so I
Right
can get
now.
this money. All money ain't good money. I ain't gonna chase it. I'm just gonna work. And what's for me is for me. I'm gonna work hard as I can, give 100%. I'm not out here chasing the bag. I'm gonna track the bag. So I'm gonna get to the money like that.
Okay. And I think what you're seeing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is there's a spiritual element to everything. You
Yeah.
know? And you and I are definitely in that same vein. Okay. So I work hard. I believe in that. I believe in
Mhm.
that. Especially, the job is one thing, the refereeing is another thing, because the refereeing is for me. Like
Mhm.
that's something that I learned, I trained, I gathered information, I worked on my craft, right? So like you said, all money ain't good money, you know, and there's always people out here trying to get you to work their games because, like you said, it's a shortage of referees, right?
Mhm.
So and there are people I know who go get it every single chance bit they get. As a matter of fact, I was one of those people, and normally am that guy if I don't have any other resources. That's called to me being a man taking care of your business, doing what you
Mhm.
got to do. That's taking one for the team, right?
Right.
So you may work some assignments that you prefer not to work, but you got to pay the bills. That's part of being a man too, right? So everything is in context, folks. You know, there are really very few absolutes. Everything in life, for the most part, have a context to it. So, but when you the more you come into your manhood or your womanhood, which I define as just being comfortable with yourself. Like
Mhm.
Freddie said, take care of your responsibilities, being present, right? Being accountable to whatever your principles and beliefs are, and standing on your square, standing on them. It doesn't mean that you're not willing to grow, be flexible, and change. If you get new information and better information, then you're willing to embrace that and grow from that, right? You don't stay in the old just because that's where you were. If you
Right.
learn better, you do better, right? But um, in that same space, there are people who I don't work for, who I don't go, no matter what
Right.
they're doing,
Right.
because I'm not cool with their spirit. I'm not cool with their motivation, you know, and there are times where I need to have my ass at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There are times I need to be home with my family. I may need to relax. I need to
Yeah.
self-care, me time. I need to be present. Hey, sometimes I sit in the room with my wife and I'll be watching these shows, that she watch Sisters and The Oval and little shit that I wouldn't even be interested in, but I'm present. Like I'm not gonna work that game. No, I'm not gonna go. Well, could you come? Could you come? Back in the day, all right, I'll go. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm like, hey, no, I'm gonna sit here and watch this program that I ain't even interested in because my wife is watching it. You know what I
You
mean?
know, man,
Fellowship.
one of the things this pandemic taught me, man, like my youngest son he's he's got like an engineering mind.
Mm.
You know, my older boy, college, went to school for basketball. He's athletic, and you know, some people would say, "Oh, he's the younger the boys like he's quirky, he's nerdy," and that's cool. Like that's cool. But
I'm a
you
nerd.
I was reffing so much, I was missing I was missing things. Like this dude getting some Legos, he cold with it. He building all kind of stuff. And then you get this pandemic hit, and you at home more. You like, man, when he start doing that? It's like
Mm-hmm.
he been doing that, and then you
Mm-hmm.
realize, oh, man, I ain't been around.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been missing out. Like let me get my ass somewhere to sit down. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, sometimes it may be your body tell you sit your ass down. Like you're doing
Your
too
body
much.
will tell you. Your
Yeah,
body
you
will tell you.
will shut your ass down. Like hey,
Let me shut you down. Guilty.
yeah.
Guilty.
And
Guilty as
real quick,
charged.
hey, man, I gotta thank you, bro. Like put me on with them. What was them shoes you told me about? Was it hookah or whatever the shoes it was you told me about?
Hocus.
Yeah.
Hocus. You got you some hocus, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, bro, you gotta take care of your feet. Like you definitely Whether that's, with the refereeing spaces, just any shit.
A
Like,
life
you get
changer.
older, you gotta take care of your feet. Like, yeah.
Hey, on the 9th day, God created hocus.
Them joints are, them the joints right there.
Them joints is the truth. They ugly, but they the truth.
Ugly as hell. They orthopedic, the motherfucker, but hey, yes, sir. Yeah. So appreciate you for that.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. All right, what's next, my guy?
Hey man, literally and figuratively,
Uh-oh.
we got to start smelling good. Like America musty as a country, people out musty, smelling like Jimmy John. Like we literally and figuratively got to get back to smelling good. Like being better. Let's be better. Like let's just be better. Let's make that a thing where we get back to being good, smelling good. Because right now we musty as hell.
Yeah. All right, y'all, use some deodorant, wash your ass.
Bro, wash your ass, and it's that, as a country, as a people, it's just everything. Be better, man. Stop being musty. Don't be that.
Okay, so that's musty in your body and your spirit.
In your spirit, exactly.
And your spirit. All right, what's next?
I'm embracing humanity, but I'm also at the same time I'm embracing my blackness. I'm gonna be as bliggity black as I can be in 2022. So I'm embracing that. I love people. Don't get me wrong, I'm not on that bullshit, but I'm gonna be black and be proud to be black and embrace being black. We've been talking about how we referee, and a lot of people don't want to be in the youth leagues and where our kids are. Like, no, man, this is what I want to be. I want to be out here. I want them to see a black official. I want them, and they're gonna see this same black official on Friday nights when they go see a high school game. Like, oh man, like yeah, I want you to see me. I want you to know that I care about y'all. I want you to know that there's people out here who will tell you they don't want to be here. I want to be here. I want to be in the city. I'm gonna be in the city. I ain't just coming here to get a haircut.
Come on, oh boy. Woo! Boy, you stepping on some toes now, homie.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna spend my dollars, whether it's a black restaurant or black, I'm gonna spend my dollars with us. I'm embracing being black and supporting us and everything that we can, or everything that we have going on. So
let
I'm
me
living my
ask
best black ass life, bro.
Let me add something to what you just said too, man, because we got a bad habit of, if some black folks fuck us over, man, we be like, yeah, we can do what the black folks. No, man, fuck that mentality, man. You know what? People are people, and you know what? White folks been fucking you over forever. You still take your ass back to Macy's, and all them other places you go to. You know what I'm saying? People are individuals, man. And you know what? I tell you what, bro. I had a situation at the restaurant about 2 months ago, man, where a waiter didn't give me my change back, and he left me hanging. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't dog the brother out, man. I went to the brother. I pulled him to the side, and talked to him, man. I was like, hey, man, you gotta, I gave you some money, man. I gave you $40, bro. I had $6 left. You didn't give me my change. What's up? I said, no, man, you ask. Exactly. I was gonna give you the money, dude, but you ask. But then we didn't have a restaurant, these restaurants now ain't got no change now. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't got no coins. I like, well, you're supposed to round my shit up to the dollar then. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I ended up still giving the same tip, man. But I was like, I'm trying to tell you, man, don't treat me like this, especially me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm throwing some nuggets in there to him. You know what I'm saying? And even what you said about young black boys seeing you, man. Whenever I do a girls' basketball game, and there's a female on the crew, I always, hey, I want you to be the R. I want you to toss. And they be like, well, why? Just because I'm a girl? I'm like, yeah, it is. Because I want these other young girls to see a female running the show. You know what I'm saying? It's not because I'm not, I can't toss the ball or do the captain's meetings. No, I want these young girls to see a girl. Don't let it be a black woman. I want them to see a black woman running this show, pointing to these men, telling them where the hell to go. You know what I'm saying? Talking to the coaches.
It matters so much.
It does. It
Yeah,
does. It does. And I told them I want them to see this. They need to see this. So don't punk out, like you said, because 9 times out of 10, don't nobody want to be the hard. They don't want to toss. They don't want to do the book. They don't talk to the coach. They don't want to take a leadership position.
yeah,
It's your opportunity. Take a leadership position. You're not just here to be the two and the chop or people that don't rap. They don't understand what the hell we talking about. But yeah, take your place as a leader. You are here to lead. Everyone's here to lead.
exactly.
Period. So no, man, yeah. What's the next
So I'm a value me. I think for too long, and I think I got caught up in the worrying about somebody else's opinion. So I'm about to value me more. I'm not like putting too much weight in what somebody else think. But I really want people to get, especially start with myself, get into valuing yourself, what you think, how you feel, saying no, taking care of yourself, protecting. I mean, it kind of falls into self-care, but more so value yourself. Like you placing too much weight into what other people think. Hey, no disrespect, but man, fuck them people. Like value you. That's what I'm getting at. Value yourself.
Temptation had a song called "Don't Let the Joneses Get You Down."
Man.
And what you said, man, I think you said this before, and I think it needs to be, because you said it before. I think we need to make sure we, expound on that, and that's the ability to say no.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
You can't go to that party. You can't go to that club. You can't do whatever. You know what I mean? You can't do that game. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't, there are times you take one for the team. There are times to make sacrifices. We don't never want to discourage that. You know what I'm saying? When he says value yourself, he's not talking about being selfish against other people. He's saying, hey, if I don't take care of myself, then I'm no good for anybody else anyway.
Exactly.
Right. And the only way you're going to get the best me is for me to present my best self. The only way I can present my best self is to value myself, and to make sure that I do the things I need to do so that when I am on the scene and in these public spaces, then you're going to get the best referee, the best worker at my job, the best person at Kroger, in society, at the picnic, at the party, whatever the case may be, right? Just driving down the street when somebody cuts you off,
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, man, if you don't value you, then it's just going to end up bleeding out in other areas, whether it's, arguments, road rage, all these things lead, one to the other, and when people are really out of balance, then that's what you're going to see. You're going to see residues of, shrapnel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shrapnel, like an explosion, like IED, maybe you didn't get expelled by the explosion, but it's the shrapnel that got you. It's the shrapnel that went through your arm and, cut an artery, right? So now, man, what you said about valuing yourself, your own opinions, your own beliefs, we should all be open to grow and learn, but, you do got your foundation, you got your principles, and stick by them.
Yeah, and that leads to the next thing, man. I'm gonna really make it a point and be disciplined about it. Discipline over motivation. Be disciplined about connecting with kids more. I talked to you about my dad. My dad was that guy in the community. Our crib was that crib everybody came to. My dad coached baseball in the city for like 45 years. Like he was just that dad. And I couldn't tell you how many times I've had people say, hey man, I appreciate you for sharing your dad. You know what I mean? So I really need to get back to connecting with kids more. I know we've had this pandemic and it's been, I'm trying to be as safe as I can because, I have a daughter with epilepsy and, my wife has hypertension. So I really need to be diligent about taking care of being safe during this pandemic. But I really want to get back to outside of just the refereeing, connecting with kids more, really, really, really making an effort to do that.
How do you plan on doing it with kids that you're not working with in refereeing?
Well, I started, one of the things I've been trying to focus on is mental health and my son went through his issues with mental health, and that's what really opened my eyes to it. So once I learned about it and really learned what it was and how all that worked, I'm a golfer. I ain't a great golfer, but golfing is just it brings peace. Being out on the course, being out, just being out there. I started introducing golf to young people. I created a partnership with the city of Columbus, and now we're bringing kids to the course, teaching you how to chip, how to putt, how to drive, and if you want to learn about all of this, whether it's food and beverage or how to take care of this course, all of these things, whatever you want to learn about golf, let's open your eyes to it. So we've been doing that. Hopefully we can get through this pandemic and really open this thing up and expand this thing. But I'm really focusing on connecting with kids, man. Golf is how I've been trying to introduce them to new things. But I really want to connect with as many kids as I can. Just really, I just love their energy. Their energy is
they keep you fresh.
They keep you fresh. It's dope, man. So I want to make sure I keep doing that.
Hey, that's a beautiful thing, man. Hey, so I didn't know about that, man. You have to put me on because I never really golfed before or anything like that. But I always kind of wanted to get into it. My two brother-in-laws, they golf quite adamantly. Like they be going all over the country. They take golfing vacations. So, but I'm a true novice. But no, I think I would like to get involved in something like that, man. So you got to put me on.
Okay, definitely. I'm gonna have you come out. It ain't one of them things where you just jump right into it. And even if you're a super competitive person, it's just like the piece of being out there strikes you first. Yeah. And once you get the bug, then your competitive spirit will take over. But it's just dope.
Yeah, but even if I don't know how to golf, again, just being around the kids and bringing that energy, I will enjoy that. Yeah, I always said people have asked me about coaching and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'd be a hell of an assistant coach because I'd be the guy that they'd all confide in.
Everybody love this assistant coach, backup quarterback, all of those things.
I'd be the coach that they'd all confide in. You know what I mean? I'd be the buffer between them and their head coach. And then I would still be able to tell them this shit that they wouldn't listen to their head coach say. You know what I mean? Like your dad's best friend. They could tell you shit your daddy could. You would listen to your daddy. That's friend listen to. So, yo, man, anything else you want to share with us, bro, before we let you go?
No, that's it, man. I enjoyed this, man. I'm big fan of what you're doing, and you always been a solid dude, man. Keep being you. Keep doing your thing, bro. Keep doing your thing.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you, man. That was Freddie Hines. Man, just a great, solid brother himself. Man, so really thank you for your time, bro. If you like the show, as always, man, please subscribe. Like the show, give us your comments, what you like, what you don't like. We're always looking for ways to get better. So, bring the comments, man. Tell us what you like. Tell us any subject you might like to see yourself, for me to cover or guests you may know who have some contributions. We just want to get better and add some love to this community, right? Make our world a bit better place. So, Freddie, we thank you for joining the show. You have a great one, man, and peace out. Happy New Year to you, and thank you for sharing these nuggets with us.
Peace, man.
All right, bro. Holla.